Hello everyone, this is Phoenix, and I just wanted to do a video here to show off the new version of the taming mod. That's phiTame, and what I've added in this version, I've actually added a few things, but the main thing that I added to this version is a new menu system. I don't know if you remember before, but the main part of the menu is the same, but when you went in to configure your slots, if you played the mod before, you know as your character levels up, you get you start off with one slot that you can assign a pet that you've tamed to, and then as you level up, you get more slots, and you can assign higher level pets to those slots in ascending order. So you can assign higher level pets to your first slot, and not quite so powerful to the second slot. As you level up the second slot, you can put more powerful things in there. You can tame more powerful things, up to like 5 slots. So you can actually, once you get leveled up quite a bit, you can have up to 5 pets following you. And if you remember, if you played the mod before, if you went in to define those slots, and right now I've only got 2 because I'm only level 15, but the old menu system, when you went in and you selected the tier, because when you tame creatures or pets, depending on how powerful they are and what level you encounter them, they're going to go into one of these categories, basically like the game's default categories, to determine how powerful they are. Before, when you went into one of these categories to browse the list of pets you know in that tier, the system, it was a decent solution. In the absence of, you see how the menu here where you select goes horizontally? That's the default Skyrim menu system that's accessible by scripting. When you're making a mod, you have to use the tools that are available to you, and this is the default menu layout. You can't have multiple rows of selections. You can't make it go vertically. You can only do horizontal. And that's not a problem for most of these. It's really nice, but for long lists of pets, the problem was that you, especially with pets with long names like frostbite spider, snow spiderling, etc., stuff like that, where the name is going from like here to here. If you had like 7 or 8 or 13 sometimes items in one of these tiers, it's off the screen and it looks really bad. So what I ended up doing was this elaborate workaround using the dialogue system, where when you went into one of these tiers, it would actually bring up an invisible person that you would be talking to, and it would bring up a dialogue menu, and in that menu, depending on whether or not you knew those things, it would populate with the things you knew in that menu, and it would say the name of the thing instead of the name of the NPC. It said the name of the lists, like novice list, apprentice list, and that worked really good. I spent a lot of time scripting that. The problem with that was that, well, it was 2 things. One, the main thing is that you see how the game is paused right now? Whenever you're in a default menu in Skyrim, the game pauses so that you can go through the menus. And that is sort of like an immersive feature of the Elder Scrolls genre in general. When you're in a menu, the game needs to be paused. Unfortunately, when you're in dialogue, Skyrim does not pause the game, and that's so that when you're talking to someone, the world keeps on interacting around you, so it seems more realistic, and that's good, and it is a good immersion feature for dialogue. But using dialogue as a menu, that was the main drawback of that, is that when you went in to try and select your pet, stuff is going on around you. So you can imagine that means you can still get attacked. You can, if someone bumps your character and moves you like off a ledge or too far enough away, you can cancel the dialogue and you have to open the menu back up again. That was just really not good. And then the other little minor things that happen very infrequently, because I put a lot of checks on the script to prevent it, was that sometimes your invisible NPC that you're in dialogue with to have the menu would get knocked off a cliff, or they won't enter combat, but sometimes something can be happening around them that moves them, and so they can get bumped away and the menu gets canceled that way. Not really effective in terms of immersion because of the lack of pausing the world around you. So what I did, and this was on suggestion, is I actually incorporated in this latest version elements of the SkyUIlib, and I think Mr. Pone and Schlangster and some of the guys from SkyUI developed this. Is basically an extension framework that provides custom menus. They've actually decompiled the Flash action scripts and coded in and designed new looking layouts that you can access through SKSE. You have to have the Skyrim script extension, which you should have anyway, because most mods that are worth anything actually use it. It doesn't take anything away from your game. It actually has lots of features that improve your performance. Like it will cull old, if you remove a mod that had a script that was doing an update, an on update, and it's just stuck in your save game doing on updates, bloating your save game or causing problems like that. SKSE has a feature that will automatically remove that. They've incorporated the memory patch for preloading memory buffers so that the game crashes a lot less often. And basically all you have to do is just copy the files. It's not even a mod. You don't even activate anything for it in your mod list. You basically just copy all the files into your Skyrim folder and you're done. And I have a link to that on the page once I get this updated. But basically using that, we're able to use these new menus in game. So basically it adds a new style of menu that still pauses the game, and that's what I've incorporated in the latest version. So I don't have a ton of pets to show you right now. I've just started this game. I'm only level 15 like I said, but let me go into one of these menus here and show you how the new menu works. So there it is. The game is still paused. You've got the novice list here. You can go through this list and it's not going to automatically select it once you click something. It's going to wait until you exit it. If you hit the default, it's going to go back up to the top if it was a long list. And basically what you do is you select the thing that you want to assign to that slot. And then once you've got it selected, you hit tab. And that assigns it. See? And now if I were to go in there and go into a list and not select anything and hit tab, it's just going to take me right back out to the menu. And then let's see, let me go ahead and assign something else here. Actually, I'm going to just summon a locust storm here. So all the rest is still the same, but that adds a huge amount to the playability of it, because you don't have to go down here. And another thing that was bad about the dialogue version is once you'd summon something once, it gets grayed out like it was a dialogue topic you've already heard. So trying to find something in the list is sort of difficult because all the names are grayed. So that was bad too. So the fact that it improves the menus for selecting, and the main thing that it pauses the game around you while you're selecting things. That's the key feature of this new version. And so there you have it. Everything else still pretty much works the same. You bring in your summons. I talk in some of the other videos about some of the other features. Like, for example, there are the there's a ton of features in this. I'm kind of surprised that no one's this is a pretty unknown mod actually, but I've designed this really to be like a hunter pet extension to Skyrim, and it has a ton of features. You can teleport your pets back to you if you've climbed up a cliff or jumped off a ledge and they can't find a path to you. They will automatically path to you through doors, or if you get more than a certain distance away, which is pretty far, but far enough where you can still see them in combat. You can dismiss all of your currently summoned pets all at once. This is just when you first see the main menu. And of course you can go in and configure the slots. And there's one other option here, combat posture. This is kind of cool. I would go into this more in another video, but basically by default you're only able to, in my right hand here, see that red spell? That's the targeting spell, and you cast that on anything. It's a non-hostile spell. You can cast it on anybody without getting any crime bounty, and by default, like I said, your pets will only attack hostile things. They will defend you. If you get attacked, they will attack, but if you cast your target spell on a friendly player, they'll just sit there and not do anything by default. If you go into combat posture and tell it to all targets, and this is remembered through save games, you have to go back and switch it back, that will tell you right there, summons attack all you command. So now if I were to cast my my targeting spell on a friendly, they're going to go and attack the friendly. And the way that works is if you're not sneaking, and I should mention this too, because with the target spell it has a pretty cool feature. If you're not sneaking and you tell them to attack something, they will just run over and attack it. If you're sneaking, and it doesn't matter if you're detected or not, but if you're sneaking and you use your target spell and tell them to attack something, it will use a percentage of your magic per active summon, and it will teleport them directly to what you've targeted. So, and that's incredibly useful, as you can imagine, for dungeon delves. Like if you're up on a ledge and you're looking down at like a wrecked ship with a bunch of pirates on it, but it's like this long winding path to get down there, you can actually sneak and target one of the pirates and cast your summons at it, and they'll teleport down onto the ship, and then you can sit up there with your bow and just pick them off. So that is a really, really cool feature with the targeting spell. But what I was going to say with the targeting spell with the allow all targets is that with all targets allowed, you can target friendlies, but there's another component to sneak that I built into this, where if you are completely hidden and you tell your summons to attack something, and right now I'm not completely hidden. If you're completely hidden and you tell your summons to attack something, you will not get bounty, and you will not enter combat. So if you're sneaky about it, you can actually assassinate things by stealthing and sending your minions in. Now, if you're detected at any time during the combat, like if you go in and hit them, hit one of these guards and get detected doing it, or if one of the guards dies and you're within visual range of another of their friends when they die, you will get the bounty. And if you're not sneaking and you send your pets in, when they attack, you will get the bounty. I think it's 40 gold of attacking a friendly, just as if you had done it. And if they kill someone, you'll get the 1,000 gold bounty, just as if you had killed them. That's if you don't sneak and send them in. So there's lots of really cool features built into this to make it as realistic and immersive as possible. And that component alone allows you to really do a lot of assassin type work with your pets. And as you level up and you get higher level pets, and like some of the Dragonborn cloaked spiders that have like an AoE fire or frost or shock poison effect, and you have lots of them, by the time you reach level 40, you can, I think, have 4 active pets and some pretty strong ones. Like you start being able to select pets from the master and the expert lists. You can really do some damage with just sending in your pets. So it's a really effective, I think, adaptation of the hunter pet archetype for the Skyrim, the world of Skyrim and the Elder Scrolls. So I definitely recommend you check it out. The new feature especially, it's going to be out in the next couple days here, is a lot. It's much improved over the past versions, as you can see. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope you have time and you check out the mod. If you do, go ahead and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you download it off the Skyrim Nexus, make sure you take a minute to endorse. And have fun.